Morning all. We've got 6 games tonight in the National Hockey League. We've got 3 starting at 4 o'clock. An hour and a half later we get one. Half an hour after that another. And an hour and a half later the 6th. I'm a little late getting this started because I was watching Croatia and Japan. Not the most entertaining game, but yeah, I have been watching World Cup. So 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific start time between Colorado and the Philadelphia Flyers. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Denver on December 13th. Now here's what's interesting. Now I'm wearing Colorado, the Eagles, because of course that's the comment I see a lot of, and a lot of clearly THG doesn't know how injured they are. Oh, I know. I also know that Colorado has been very good when they've had injuries in the last 3 seasons, and the injuries are standard fare with the Colorado Avalanche. So they're 13-8-1 on the season. Their last 10 games, they're 6-4. They did lose their last game. They have lost 2 out of 3, but prior to that, they'd won 5 out of 7. So it's not bad. Anyways, they're scoring 3.32 goals per game. They're allowing 2.77. I've got Georgiev on the board because he's been confirmed as the starter for tonight. On the Philadelphia side, they're 8-12-5 over their last 10 games. They're 1-6-3. They've lost 2 in a row. Talked about teams yesterday that it was hard for me to watch. It's not hard for me to watch Philly because they're working hard. And I think when a team's working hard, the results just aren't quite there. It's a little easier for me to watch. I understand what they're trying to do. They just don't have the foot soldiers necessary to make it work. They're scoring 2.36 goals per game. They're allowing 3.24. The goals against have been going up. The defense has been an issue. Carter Hart's numbers have started to come back to earth as well, but Hart's been good, and he's in net again tonight. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the St. Louis Blues and the New York Rangers. First of 2 meetings. They'll meet again on April 6th. For St. Louis, they're 11-13. It's an ugly record. Last 10 games, they're 5-5. They've lost 3 in a row. They're scoring 2.83 goals per game, which is okay, but they're allowing 3.75, which is too high. And Binnington will be the starter tonight. And despite the comments about how Binnington's another Billy Smith, no, he's not. Billy Smith came out and he fought, and Billy Smith had reason for some of the stuff that went on. Anyways, the New York Rangers, New Hextall and Billy Smith. New York Rangers, 11-10-5 on the season. Their last 10 games, they're 4-4-2. They did lose their last game in regulation. They're scoring 2.92 goals per game. They're allowing 2.88 goals per game. Shesterkin will be in net tonight for the Rangers. So it is a prime matchup when it comes to goaltenders, and it should be interesting to see which team that's been in free fall lately turns it around. The New York Rangers really need to start playing with some more urgency here. And for St. Louis, it's about turning around their latest streak. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Vegas and the Boston Bruins. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again on December 11th. For Vegas, 18-7-1 is the record. And they've been good, not great on this road trip. They're 5-4-1 in their last 10. They did win their last game. But yeah, it's been kind of all over the place. Again, 5-4-1 in their last 10 will tell you that. They're scoring 3.42 goals per game. They're allowing 2.62. But this is going to be a good test for a Boston team going for 15 straight home wins to start the season. They're 20-3 on the season. The last 10 games, they're 9-1. They have won 3 in a row. They're scoring an even 4 goals per game. They're allowing 2.13 goals per game. No confirmation of the goaltenders there. I would think it's probably Thompson and Ullmark. And this should be a very good matchup. Again, this is a team that could knock off the Bruins. And so we'll see how things go tonight. Should be a ton of fun. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific start between the Washington Capitals and the Edmonton Oilers. This is the second of 2 meetings, so this will be the last time they meet each other. November 7th, Washington won this matchup 5-4. For the Capitals, they're 10-12-4 in the season. Their last 10 games, they're 3-5-2. They did lose their last game in regulation. They're scoring 2.73 goals per game. They're allowing 3.12 goals per game. So the overall number is not fantastic for Washington. Now, on the Oilers side, they're allowing more goals than they're scoring as well. They're 14-11 overall. Their last 10 games are 6-4. They're scoring 3.48 goals per game. They're allowing 3.6 goals per game. So that's interesting. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start between the Arizona Coyotes and the Calgary Flames, the first of 3 meetings here. They'll meet again February 22nd, I should say, and March 14th. With the 7-11-4 Arizona Coyotes, they do make you work for it, but they are 2-5-3 in their last 10. Their last game was an overtime loss. They're scoring 2.68 goals per game. They're allowing 3.45 goals per game. On the Calgary side, they're 11-10-3. Their last 10 games, they're 5-4-1. They did win their last game. They're scoring an even 3 goals per game. They're allowing 3.04 goals per game. And Vladar has been confirmed as the starter tonight for Calgary. So, yeah, Dan's getting more games. Daryl Sutter, understanding that Vladar is right now the better of the two goaltenders, giving Markstrom probably a little bit of a breather so he can, gather his thoughts and all of that fun stuff and just get his game back and not feel so much. I think really with Markstrom, he can be the type to beat himself up a little too much publicly. And yeah, so just give him a bit of a break and get Vladar another start. No harm there. Plus, it's Arizona. So again, this should be a win for Calgary. Then at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, the Montreal Canadiens will try to sweep the season series with the Vancouver Canucks. They've won 5-2 over Vancouver in Montreal on November 9th. This is always a very in-demand game in Vancouver. Ticket prices are usually the highest of the year. It's between the Toronto game and the Montreal game. The Boston game is pretty high too, and whenever Calgary comes in. But Montreal is one of the most in-demand tickets. Montreal's 12-11-1 in the season. The last 10 games, they're 5-5. They did lose their last game. 2.79 goals scored per game this year. They're allowing 3.46. But again, they're on the right side of 500 right now. And much like Arizona, they make you work for it. The Montreal Canadiens, Vancouver, neither of them in playoff spots right now, but I do expect a pretty lively crowd and probably almost a 50-50 split because of the fact the Canucks are 10-12-3. So I expect a lot of Montreal jerseys and probably a lot of cheering when Montreal scores. Last 10 games, Vancouver 6-4. They did win their last game over Arizona. They're scoring 3.36 goals per game. They're allowing 3.76 goals per game. And while there's no confirmation, I would think probably Montembeault and likely Martin. I would think Martin's going to start a lion's share of the games until Demko gets back. Although they'll get Dealey into a couple of games here and there. Should be fun to see how he does. But let me know your picks in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.